Hello, welcome to JavaScript Fundamentals tutorial. In this tutorial, we shall concentrate on variables, how to declare variables, and how to assign values to variables. The three major types of variables in JavaScript. So let's dive into our JavaScript code. As usual, I like to start with a boilerplate, which already includes everything here. And I believe you remember how to generate a boilerplate. It's not, if you don't remember, you can go back to our first lesson on this JavaScript tutorial series. So what we are going to do is that we are going to concentrate on this file, JavaScript file, and we want to be displaying everything on the console. So there are actually three types of variables in JavaScript. The first one is that we can declare variable using var keyword. The second one is that we can declare a variable using let. And the last one is that we can declare a variable using const. So you are going to learn how to declare variables using each one of this. All right. So, but to start with, what is actually a variable? A variable is a named memory location that allows you to store values in your program. So in that case, a variable must have a name and it must allow you access to store values in a program. Okay, let's start with the first alternative of declaring a variable or defining a variable. So for us to declare a variable, what we simply need is the keyword var, and I am going to use something like pet. All right, so let me use pet for now, and I will enclose it. Now, before we continue, there's something I need to show you. Console.this variable. What this means is that we can actually make reference to whatever the variable contains by simply bringing in the variable or calling the variable by its name, which is in this case pet. So let's save this and move to our browser and see what this will look like now. As you can see here, it's undefined. I'll quickly tell you why it is undefined. It is undefined because, as you can see here now, this variable name is declared, meaning that it exists, but again, it has no value assigned to it. All right? Okay. There's another thing I need to show you. What if I comment this, meaning that this pet does not exist? Let's see what it gives us. So as you can see, on cut reference error, pet is not defined. So it doesn't exist, so it's going to give us an error. Because it exists now, but there is no value assigned to it, it will give us undefined. So when a variable has been declared, but it has no value, that variable is of the type undefined. You shall learn what data types are in a future lesson. Okay, so this is the first way of declaring a variable, and you can also declare a variable and assign values to the variable. All right, so let me start with a progression, just moving forward from what we have. Having declared the variable pet, we can actually assign the value here as cat, and when we display on the console, let's see what it gives us. So it gives us cat as our pet, no more undefined. All right, so There's another alternative. Instead of writing this whole thing, all right, instead of writing this whole thing on a second line, we can come here. I think we can come over here and remove this. So we have declared pet on the same line, and we have also assigned it a value, cat. So this is actually the same with the previous code, except that we write everything on one line. Okay, so you can see this declares it. Another option is that we could use let and do the same thing, just the same way. All right, now let and var actually are different based on the scope they're used. So I'm not going to go into demonstration of the difference here, but just be rest assured that you can use let and var to declare a variable. And the most recent and recommended way of declaring a variable is to actually use let. So var is phasing out or has phased out. It's not recommended to use var to declare variables. You can just go ahead and be using let to declare variables. All right. So when we do this, we have this as cat. So let's change so that we get a different thing. So let's change this to dog, and of course we get dog there, right? So there's another one, another type of variable, which is constant. So it's technically not a variable, but we give it variable, name as because we are supposed to name it and it stores a value. But in this case, this particular one stores constant values. So the values they store cannot be changed any particular moment during while the program runs. So how to declare this is by using const. Okay, and I'm going to add doggy here instead of just dog, right? And I will console it, and you are going to see doggy there. All right, so there is something I want you to understand here. There's something you must understand. Now, constant doesn't allow you to declare a variable without assigning a value to it. Otherwise, it's going to give you an error. So uncaught syntax error, missing initializer in constant declaration. So you must initialize a value while you are dealing with constant. This is actually what makes it different from the var and let types of variables. So I hope you've been able to learn how to make use of the three different types of variables in JavaScript: var, let, and const. So if you like this video, if this video has taught you something, I would like you to like, share, and of course subscribe. Please subscribe and share. Okay. See you in our next tutorial. Just make sure you're consistent and you try to do things on your own. If you don't understand anything, you can put up a question in the comment section so that whenever I have the time, I can look through the comments and respond to the questions that have been raised. Thank you for watching and see you in our next tutorial. Bye.